Hey guys, I'm Regina. Welcome to my channel. And today we're going to talk about all of the things that I wish I knew before starting fertility treatment. Before. So let's get with it. If you see me looking down like this, maybe grab my pen like this. It's because I took notes because I don't want to leave anything out. And if you are new here and you're wondering, why is this girl sitting on the floor? It's because I'm comfortable. I'm always on the floor all the time. I've been getting on my wife's nerves for the past 4.5 years because I'm always on the floor. So you got to get used to it. So let's just jump right into this video. Some of the things that I wish I knew before starting infertility treatment. Before starting infertility treatment, I wish I knew that all treatment is not created equal. Meaning, your fertility treatment, your protocol, her protocol is not the same. Before starting infertility treatment, I did a lot of research. I went on Google, girl. I was typing stuff in like IVF, success rates, this, that, and the other. And I was reading all these blogs. And then I went to YouTube and I was watching all these videos of women who also went through infertility treatment. And all of that gave me the impression that fertility treatment was perfect. It was as perfect as a sunset on South Beach. It was nothing wrong with it. It was absolutely perfect. This is what it is. And that's just not reality. It's just not. But that was the impression that I gave. I'm not going to say all of the channels that I watched back then, but some of them, in my opinion, gave false hope to a lot of people. Or it might have been that I just misinterpreted the video, but it wasn't until recently that I started to see channels other than mine that actually showed you the real deal about infertility treatment. They showed you the good, because there are a lot of women who have great cycles. They show you the bad. Unfortunately, some of us have bad cycles. And it's videos that show you in between. And I wish I would have seen those back then, because the ones I watched back then gave me a false sense of reality. I just assumed that I was going to get pregnant the first time, I was going to have no side effects, and it was going to be absolutely perfect. And going into treatment with those assumptions, when those assumptions don't come true, it's hard. Let's just say it's hard. The next thing, emotions and sensitivity. Y'all, I was not ready for these emotions, honey. All of the hormones that you got going in your body, for me and my protocol, it was 2 months worth of hormones. I had birth control for 1 whole month, and then I had like 2 weeks of injections. Then there was another 2 weeks of the progesterone inserts, and ciao. And I did 3 IVF cycles last year, 3, and I had to do those things for 3 IVF cycles. Emotions was everywhere. My emotions was running like 2 convents that just escaped. It was a hot mess. And for me, it was hard because I'm someone who never really tapped into her emotions like that. I come from a family of 10 people. Okay, you know how on The Wiz or The Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man, he doesn't have a heart, he doesn't know emotions. That's the type of family I come from. I'm not saying there's something bad about it, but it was kind of an unspoken rule that emotions wasn't allowed. You couldn't say how you feel, you couldn't show your emotions. It's created a lot of conflict within myself, but that's how I grew up, and that stayed with me up until. So it's like all of these different hormones in me. I'm sensitive about everything. You can tell me my dreads look dirty and I will cry. I will cry watching baby stuff. I will cry if I seen a baby in the mall. I'm like, oh my God, I hope we have that one day. Oh my God. Like, it was bad. Somebody can say something offensive towards me, especially regarding this. treatment before, I would just curse them out and go on about my day like nothing happened. On these hormones, I would like shut down and then I would cry. It was like it hurt my soul. I was not ready. Okay? I was not ready. I was not. Another thing I wish I knew before starting infertility is that everyone is not going to be supportive. That's just what it is. If you come from a really religious family, it's a chance that there may be some people in your family that's not going to be okay with you going through infertility treatment, because a lot of people feel like it's going against God's will. Then you have people that feel like they know everything, and because they never went through this, that just automatically means that you don't have to go through this. In their mind, you're choosing to go through that. So you have those people. You have people that is going to take an assumption that they are your doctor and try to give you medical advice like, girl, you don't need to do that fertility treatment. You know, girl, you just got to do it upside down. You know, those people. And then you have people like, I'm going to give you an example. My mom, love her to death, but yeah. During my second cycle, anybody who had IVF know that when you giving yourself injection, it comes a time when you're going to be uncomfortable. It's not painful, but to me, it wasn't painful. It was just uncomfortable. You just feel a little heavy in the abdomen area. So she called me one day. I was laying down, feeling a little heavy. Moms know when something's wrong. She asked me what's wrong. I told her I'm okay. I said my egg's just a little bit enlarged because they got to take it out in a couple of days, but I'm okay. She went off. She went completely off. You are dumb. I don't know why you just can't accept that the doctor messed you up. If you don't know what doctor, I'll link my last video after this one. You just need to accept that. If you wasn't going through infertility treatment, you'll be able to help the family more. You are dumb. You are selfish. You shouldn't be doing that. You just setting yourself up for disappointment. Just went on a complete tangent. I've never disrespected my mom in any way, but that was the first time I hung up on her. That's to be expected. It's going to be a lot of people who's not going to support it. I'm not saying that they're going to be rude like my mama was, but it's going to be people that doesn't support. So if you walking into this thinking you're going to have this big support system, you're not. And that was something that was difficult for me because I'm everybody's cheerleader. Just call me Rah Rah Gina. I support everybody no matter what it is. If you believe in yourself, I'm going to believe in you. That's just how I always been. So to not be given that back mainly for selfish reasons, that was difficult for me. So be prepared for that. Another thing is the cost. The cost of treatment and medication. We are blessed. My insurance covered my wife and I 100% for IVF treatment. 100% coverage is basically the egg retrieval, the transfer, blood work, sonograms, doctor's appointments, which is great. We are blessed. It was shocking to me to research and find out that so many women aren't covered. Infertility and having to go through fertility treatment, that's a medical condition to me. That's like having cancer. Well, you know, not really, you know. But I'm just saying, just like cancer is a medical condition, diabetes is a condition, infertility, that's a condition. This is something your body is supposed to do, but it can't do. So for me, I can't wrap my head around some women not being covered from fertility. Yet we have to pay so much every paycheck for insurance. It pisses me off because there are some insurance that will cover you for boob jobs. They will cover you for ass jobs. They will cover you for all of this cosmetic stuff. That's an option, but they won't cover you for fertility, which is something that's needed. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Although we were covered at 100%, it did not cover everything. I am married to a woman, so it's a procedure, I believe it's called ICSI or something like that. I wasn't covered for that, but I needed it. That was over $1,000. Genetic testing, several $1,000s, okay? That's several $1,000s. And genetics testing is something that they do on your eggs to test your eggs, to make sure all of your eggs are great eggs, to make sure if they transfer them, you won't have a miscarriage or they won't have Down syndrome and things like that. So to me, it's a necessity. Several $1,000s. Okay. I am, again, in a same-sex marriage, so we have to buy sperm. That shit is expensive. You're talking about $5,000 to $1,000. Okay? Expensive. I was not ready for any of that. Another thing that I wish I knew was I wish I realized that it won't work the first time. It's no guarantee. I had this assumption that they're taking my egg out, they're fertilizing this egg, the egg is completely fertilized. Now they calling it an embryo, so they're going to put it exactly where it needs to go. If they put it exactly where it needs to go, why wouldn't it work? Sometimes shit happens. And that's something that I did not realize walking into fertility treatment. I did not realize that shit happens in fertility. Another thing that I didn't realize is the medication can make you feel pregnant. If you don't have any children, it's a little different from you because you've never been pregnant before, so you don't really know what a pregnancy symptom is. But for those of us like myself who have given birth before and been pregnant before, you are familiar with the symptoms, the sensitive breast, the nausea, the sleepiness, and etc. And there are some medications, especially the progesterone, if you doing the depository, that can make you feel like you're pregnant. So it's a lot of times going through this, you can give yourself a lot of false hope just because your boobs feel extra tender, you know, or they hurt when the fan blow on them, you know, and you're actually not pregnant. So one of the things I wish I knew before starting fertility is to not look into everything, just go with the flow as if it's just a regular day. The last thing that I wish I knew before starting fertility is that fertility treatment can be an awesome process for some of us. And when I say it can be, you can have successful egg retrievals. You can have a lot of eggs that can be frozen. That gives you a lot of options to do things. All it takes is one egg, and that one egg just gave you a baby, and now you got frozen babies waiting for when you're ready for more kids, and that aspect of it is awesome. Then for some of us, it can be a disappointing and a defeating process. More times than not during IVF treatment, I felt defeated. I felt like I wasn't a whole woman. I felt like I was less than because I could not do the one thing that we are as women are supposed to know how to do. So one of the things I wish I knew before starting fertility treatment is I wish I knew that it is okay to not be okay, and what's for you will be for you when it's time. Do not set your clock based on somebody else's watch. What are some things that you wish you knew before starting fertility treatment? Leave them below. I would love to keep this conversation going. Bye, guys.